Hey guys, can you guys hear me okay? Okay. John, I got it. Give me 1 second, man. Okay, is that a little bit louder? Are we good now?
I'm still
Hey,
good.
Seema, you can hear me?
Audio is a little choppy. Matt, we're having a thunderstorm out here, so if I all of a sudden drop out, it's because the power flickered.
The power went out. Gotcha. Okay. Well, everyone, if you're not aware of who this is, which I'm pretty sure everyone in this room is aware of who our guest is tonight, we have TMOT, the Minister of Truth, Minister Derek Grayson. So I'm very excited to have him back. He was actually on the first show, and he did a phenomenal job. So I thought I would bring him back because I just saw some photos that made me about as jealous could get. So I figured we got to bring this guy back on so we can hear about the experience of actually Ron Paul, Tom Davis, Jack Hunter, all these other great people. So, T-Mod, if you T-Mod, what browser are you on? Are you on Chrome or are you on something else?
I'm on Chrome. You need me to get on IE?
I don't know. You on? What do you think?
I mean, I'm okay. I mean, I can get on IE. Is there a problem?
No, you sound good. I guess it's just if the audio is choppy for you on your end, hearing us.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you're coming through okay, and it might be on my end because we got this storm going here.
Okay, perfect. So basically, you traveled from Georgia to South Carolina to go to this event, correct?
Yes, I did. And you know what, Matt? I'm going to go ahead and change browsers
Okay, not a
because I want to make sure I catch what you're saying. So if you'll give me uh, a minute or two to load up IE, I will reconnect.
not a problem.
I'm gonna do it. All right.
So while we're waiting now for
So I'm gonna
Tima to
stop this one and click right back with you.
get I hope he's changing browsers, not trousers. I hope we didn't scare him that much. But did anyone else see these photos that T-Mod had of him and Ron Paul? There's this photo that I saw that is probably the best I've seen of Ron Paul. His facial expression when he realized who he was actually talking to. His face just lit up, and he just had this gigantic smile, and it was pretty good. I'll see if I can find it really quick. I'll put a link out there. 1 second. Give me 1 second, man. All right. TMOT stands for the Minister of Truth. You know what? I actually don't know who Review Manify is. Don't judge me. I gotta find a tiny URL really quick. It's way too long of a look otherwise. Make it tiny. All right, link's coming up in 1 second. There's the link to the photo of Timot actually meeting him. When I say him, I mean Ron Paul. But then actually, let's see if I can find. Here it is, right here. And then I'll show you the other one. Thanks, Shane. I appreciate it. Did you guys see the other photo that I put up, that other link? Oh, you probably have to be you probably have to be his friend. Yeah, Johan, do that if you can, please. Thanks, Simon. All right, and TMOT is back. We're approving him right now. All right. Audio is better now?
Yeah, it is. I enabled that HD. That might have been why the feed was coming in choppy on my end.
Gotcha.
But I'm good now, so.
Perfect. Well, John, you actually should come up and show that one photo, the one where Ron Paul's really surprised. I'd like to hear the story from TMOT, actually. Have him describe this, because that photo is just awesome. It's I can't even give it justice to describe Ron Paul's face when he actually realizes who he's talking to.
He was as surprised as I was, because I said he was as surprised as I was. I've been told the Ron Paul campaign knew who I was. I've been in touch with a young lady by the name of Deb, who is his events coordinator, and she had told me that he and his wife had seen my videos, and I said, "Oh, okay, well that's great." But when I got there and I walked up to him, I said, "How you doing, Dr. Paul?" He said, "I'm doing fine. I'm doing." I say, "I'm all right." I say, "Do you know who I am?" And that's when he said, "Oh, I know you. You're the guy that makes the videos in your car. I've seen those." I said, "Yes, sir. That's me." And I didn't ask him. Everybody's been asking me, "What did you ask him about?" The RNs. I didn't ask him any questions. I essentially encouraged him. I said, "Dr. Paul, you keep doing what you do the way you do it. We've got your back, and I can certainly tell you, you've got all of my support." And we shook hands, took a couple of pictures, and he signed the photograph. And, I let him need to deal with, because there was a lot of folks that wanted to shake the man's hand, and I can understand why. It was, in fact, indeed an honor for me to finally meet him after talking about him all these months. But I felt like I already knew him just from things that I've heard, the things that I have read about him. And it is just amazing to me, Matt, that there is many people out there that don't, when it comes to what Ron Paul is all about.
Right. So that was actually the first time you ever got to meet him then, down in South Carolina.
Yes, it was the second time I had seen him in person, but the throngs of crowds was just so massive. I didn't attempt to uh, see him. I was invited up to Philadelphia as a VIP guest at a rally there, and I did not get an opportunity to shake his hand, but I did hear him speak. But this time, I not only heard him speak, I got an opportunity to have a few words with him. So it was a great experience.
Actually, I saw you in a ad for Gary Johnson. Your voice, I don't think that, I believe they took what you were saying kind of out of context, because you and I both know who you're voting for this year, and there's no Gary or Johnson in this man's name. It was actually on YouTube, some of your clips, some Alex Jones, some other people, and they combined it, and it was actually a Gary Johnson ad. It was like a 5 or 6 minute ad, and it had Golden State, the song Bombs, in the background. So I don't know if they talked to you about that or not, but I thought it was kind of ironic that they used your voice in a Gary Johnson ad on YouTube.
Yeah, I have not seen that ad. So I told Gary Johnson 2016 that Ron Paul is not in it. Then I'll talk about my support, but I have not researched uh, Gary Johnson to determine whether or not I would want to vote for him. I will say this, and people take issue with me on it. As a There are two things that I consider when voting. One is the Constitution, whether or not a person is about following the Constitution. And secondly, as a Christian, if Ron Paul supported abortion, I would not vote for him. Um, I believe as Ron Paul, it is an issue that belongs to the state. The federal government has no business being in it. Uh, I should be able to vote on that on a state level, and given an opportunity to vote against abortion, I would. And so that's my stance on that. So if Gary Johnson were to say, well, I'm going to do all that I can to ensure that Roe v. Wade stays in place, he won't have my vote. But if he were to say the federal government has no business engaging in whether or not it's the law of the land, I would vote for him on that principle alone, because he would allow the states to, determine what that state would do, and that's how I roll on those issues. So when I vote from a Christian moral perspective, as well as a constitutional one.
No, I agree with you. Those are definitely some of the main reasons why I support Ron Paul too. And I've looked into Gary Johnson a little bit more, and I mean, we we as libertarians and Ron Paul supporters, we always talk about how we can't just vote for the lesser of two evils. And I believe that Gary Johnson isn't exactly an evil person, but there are issues that I disagree with him on, just like how he's talking about aid, I believe, to Israel, and also just humanitarian wars. He's pro-choice and stuff like that. And those are some pretty main things where I disagree with him on. So when we still have a candidate, regardless of what people say his chances are, I'm going to stick with him so his chances are the highest they can be. Plain and simple, if we start abandoning ship before it's finally gone its full course, we're never going to know what the end result could have been. So that's why I'm staying 110% with Ron Paul all the way through. And I honestly think that Gary Johnson, if anything, is just going to steal votes away from Ron Paul, and it's just going to split the libertarian vote this time around. So maybe when there's not a Ron Paul in the election up against Gary Johnson, sure, then we can go with whoever our best person is, because we do have to try to stick together behind the libertarian voice and try to give him support. But right now, when Ron Paul is still in there, I'm sorry, I'm going to piss people off, but I'm going to vote Ron Paul. No matter how many people say Gary Johnson has a better chance, he's going to be on the ballot, he's going to be in the debates, I don't care. I'm still voting for the person who is the top choice. He's my man, and I'm going with him.
Matt, you and I both echo the same sentiment. I have people that get upset with me, but you're going to be helping Obama to win, or well, you know what? I don't need to repeat what you just said. I agree with you, brother. Ron Paul all the way. When you make a commitment, you stick to it. And it's as simple as that. I take my commitment to Ron Paul as serious